Right, so the last 2 nights plantings have been rained off, which is really good in some ways, but it's been really kind of inconvenient. But we're going to be doing 3 plantings tonight as a result. So first up tonight we're going to be doing a replacement planting. This is quite common at this time of year because the rains have brought a lot of things that look like they might be dead back to life, and they have shown that a lot of things that are dead are dead. And in this case they've actually seemed to do something strange to a Dracaena studinary. So I'm not sure it's dead, but it certainly flopped right over and lost a lot of texture. The top will probably reroot where it's landed, but I'm not sure, and so I'm going to be replacing this with a white mulberry. And now, whereas the standard typical mulberry, which produces a black fruit, is a white mulberry, Morus alba, but that's because it starts out white and ends up black. This is actually a cultivar of that which will end up with white fruit, which is supposed to be quite good for pies and a lot of preserves, whereas mulberries can be a little bit tricky to get set. This one should, in theory, set a little bit better, but we'll see. Second up tonight we're going with a planting that isn't a replacement, which is quite a treat at this time of year because we have lost a few trees and I do want to get up to the 365, so I have one for every day of the year by the end of the year. And this is another Moringa oleifera. I have found them quite hardy, even ones that did not look like they were great, because they are very deciduous and they did look like sticks over the dry season. They have opened back up and we now have nice healthy little saplings coming up again. So this one is going in a relatively open area. This will be sharing canopy space with some of the Brachystegia taxifolia, one of which is definitely already growing again for the rains, the other of which is not clear. So this is going to be getting companion plants in the forms of a Dracaena fragrans, which is quite small, and a nice piece of the Aloe arborescens, which has several heads on it, so should hopefully form a nice thicket on the sunny side of this, so the afternoon side, and then finally in the form of a very tall piece of Cotyledon barbae, which, believe it or not, will eventually be a ground cover. This is something of a bush, but it will bush out and spread out now. It's in a sunnier location than where I had it rooting. Third up tonight, and actually tonight's actual planting, we're going to be going with a replacement of a Mangifera indica. Now, mangoes generally are very hardy, but I have had a couple of the ones I planted relatively late suffer this year, which is surprising because they will root in a lot of places, but it also shouldn't have been that surprising because they are from a warmer, wetter part of the world than we are in, so yeah, they do have to have some limitations. So this is going to be another plant with indica in its name, but instead of a mango we're going with tamarind, Tamarindus indicus, which is not from India at all. It's actually an African tree, but it has been traded around the Indian Ocean for a very, very long time. It's a very useful tree. You can eat the sort of sweet, sticky pod part, and yeah, it becomes huge, so it should be a really good one here to form a canopy that eventually I can start planting other more shade-dependent trees under. That is going to be going in with the same existing plant. So there's a piece of Dracaena fragrans which might come back to life. It's a bit sunburned at the moment. A piece of one of the aloes and a piece of the Euphorbia milli. And that won't be everything for tonight, because as well as 3 plants, I also found 3 little frogs trying to do their best impression of Ophelia in the pond, and I will be putting one of those with each of these trees, and that will be going up after this. But for now, that is it from me. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you haven't enjoyed it, thank you for watching anyway. Please tune in again tomorrow, because I will be planting something different if it doesn't rain all day, but we'll see.